Welcome. So I'm going to lead you through a 4-minute plank challenge. So we're going to stay in the plank for 4 minutes, but do different varieties of it. So it's not as hard as it sounds, don't worry. But the plank is such a good exercise to strengthen the whole length of the core, the shoulders, the chest, a lot of what we use in yoga. So it's a good thing to just pop on the end of a practice or just fit in if you haven't got much time. So we're just going to quickly warm up the wrists. It's super important to do that any time that we're going to be putting pressure on them. But hopefully you've done some movement already. If not, you might just want to take a little bit more time to do some stretching. So I've already practiced this morning, so my arms are fairly warmed up, but if it's first thing in the morning for you, then perhaps pause this and just do a little bit of movement before we get started. So, key things are to engage the legs and the glutes and also suck the belly into the spine every time, all the time, protecting the lower back. So I'll guide you through it, and we're going to start in a high plank, so we want the shoulders to be over the wrists. So I'm going to start my stop clock and we're going to go. So we're going to hold high plank for 30 seconds. So just check in that the shoulders are over the wrists, the hips are down. You want to feel like you're drawing the heels away from you, so the kneecaps are lifted, really engaging the legs. Breathing deeply through the nose. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Just 5 seconds left here, and then we're going to come down onto our forearms. Keep everything the same, but just bring yourself down. So dip the hips down a bit here. It's quite easy to keep the hips up here, and we're not working as hard then. So keep the hips down, imagining one long plank between the tops of the shoulders and the feet. Sucking the belly in, breathing deeply through the nose. Pushing out of the ground with the elbows, so we're kind of rounding off the shoulders. Good. And now we're going to lift up the right foot for 30 seconds. Keep breathing. You can do this. Try to focus on your breath. Counting the breaths can sometimes help. Good. We've just got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Put that foot down. Good. Now we lift up the left. We can do it. Keep the weight forward over the elbows. Suck the belly in. Keep the hips down. Keep breathing through the nose, rounding off the shoulders. Good. In 5, we're going to come into a side plank, so we can put the foot down. Now, come onto one side. Doesn't matter which one. And we lift ourselves up. If this is too hard for your balance, we can put one foot in front to support us. But if we can, trying to just rest on the blade of that left foot or the right foot, whichever one. Try to look up at the hand if you can. Push the hips up. Breathe deeply. Good, only 5 more seconds here, doing really well. And we'll swap sides. So coming over to the other forearm. And again, we can use that foot to help us. Try and lift the hips up. Try and look up at that top hand. Breathing deeply. Five more seconds. Good. Now we're going to just come back to our forearm plank. 30 seconds here. We're very nearly done. Squeeze the glutes. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can introduce a pulse. Just pulsing forward and back. Suck the belly into the spine. 5 more seconds here. We're into our last exercise, our last 30 seconds. Coming up to our hands. Coming back up to our high plank. So for just 30 seconds here, either stay here or if you want to challenge yourself, bringing in some knee taps. Very nearly there, so push yourself. Pushing out of the hands, rounding off the shoulders. Can really feel it in the shoulders now. 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Really good. Push back to downward facing dog. Release those shoulders. Really well done. And then come forward into a gentle back bend. Release out the core. So this is a great practice to slot into after any kind of movement or even in the mornings. If you did have to rest with your knees down, then this is the sort of thing that you can just build up. So set your timer, follow along, and yeah, within a few weeks you'll be amazed at how much strength you have built. So yeah, thank you for joining me.